An entire Persian army marched into the Egyptian desert, and according to an ancient historian, not a single soldier came back. The year was 525 BC. Cambyses II, the ruler of the Achaemenid Persian Empire, had just completed the conquest of Egypt. But the Nile was only the beginning. He wanted to project Persian power much further into the North African interior. To do this, he dispatched a massive expeditionary force from the city of Thebes. Their target was the oasis of Siwa, home to the Ammonians and the legendary Oracle of Amun. The legend tells of a catastrophic end. Somewhere in the deep desert, a violent southern wind supposedly rose without warning, carrying enough sand to swallow 50,000 men where they stood. In the centuries that followed, this event became known as antiquity's most terrifying and absolute vanishing act. But there is a problem. Modern archaeologists have spent decades scouring these dunes with ground-penetrating radar and satellite imagery, and they have found nothing. No armor, no bronze spearheads, and no mass graves. This creates a massive logical tension. A force of 50,000 soldiers requires thousands of pack animals and tons of equipment. Even after 2,000 years, an army of that scale should leave a detectable signature in the sand. The lack of evidence suggests that researchers might be hunting for a ghost army. It raises the possibility that the legendary 50,000 figure isn't a historical fact, but a detail that has been misunderstood for centuries. Solving the mystery requires moving away from the dunes and looking closer at the single historical account that first created the legend. That account comes from Herodotus. He is our only foundational source for this entire expedition, and every detail we have relies on his writing. Herodotus describes the march with surprising specificity. He records the army traveling 7 days from Thebes to Oasis, likely Karga Oasis. According to informants, the disaster struck after this waypoint. As soldiers pushed westward into the open desert, a violent wind allegedly buried them. However, there is a significant discrepancy in the text. While modern retellings focus on the scale of the loss, Herodotus himself never actually provides a specific number of soldiers for this mission. The figure of 50,000 appears to be the result of a historical telephone game. Through centuries of translations and local traditions, a failed military operation was slowly reshaped into an apocalyptic event of impossible proportions. When we strip away that exaggerated number, the investigation changes. We are no longer looking for a vanished city of men, but for the realistic fate of a much smaller expeditionary force. We also have to reconsider how these men died. The Hollywood image of an instant sand tsunami is a physical impossibility in the Sahara. The real threat of the desert is not being buried alive by a wall of sand, but the total loss of direction in a featureless landscape. A severe sandstorm doesn't fall from the sky, it blinds the senses. It turns the horizon into a wall of dust, making it impossible to maintain a straight line or find a landmark. In these conditions, military discipline collapses. Broken formations lead to separated units, which quickly lose access to the water supply. In the heat of the Sahara, a lost soldier has only a matter of hours. The desert didn't need to swallow the army whole. It simply scattered them, allowing heat and thirst to finish what the wind started. The real story of Cambyses' lost army isn't a supernatural event. It is a record of a devastating logistical failure and a command that underestimated the environment. We cling to the myth of the massive sandstorm because it offers a cinematic explanation for human error. It's easier to imagine a magical storm than a slow, agonizing collapse caused by bad planning. The desert's true weapon is its vast, empty indifference. It requires no battle to erase an army. It only needs to wait for them to lose their way. The physical remains of a failed mission are likely still out there, hidden under a few feet of sand. But the legendary 50,000-man army is a mirage that exists only in our imagination. Ultimately, history's most enduring mysteries are often just the simple, brutal realities of the past, buried under layers of human exaggeration.